All right. Get my face position in front of the camera here. We are live, the Loose Lug Nuts Season 2, Episode 12. It is all about Martinsville this weekend. And if you were hoping to go to Martinsville, I'm not sure what you thought after seeing all the action this weekend. I feel like I went to a fight and a race broke out. We got Haley Deegan and Lawless Allen. We got Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer. We got the one place where I thought we would have a big fight in the Cup Series, where it is ultra serious. We didn't, but it was a crazy weekend. Before we get started, before I bring on my co-host, I want to say Adam Lauer, a longtime viewer, probably one of our biggest fans, if not the biggest. His dad is undergoing some health problems and having a pacemaker inserted. So we will all be keeping him, both Adam and his dad, in our thoughts and prayers. And we would appreciate it if anybody tuning in would kind of take a minute and say a prayer for Adam and his dad as well. I'm sure he is in good hands, and putting pacemakers in is a lot more routine than it used to be. But we will certainly still be keeping you in our thoughts and prayers, Adam. And tell your dad we said hi, and tell him we are thinking of him and wishing him well. With that being said, oh my gosh, Adam, you got to be taking care of your dad. You don't need to be forking over money like
Adam,
this.
dude,
Thank you, bud. But you take care of your family, man.
we talked
Take
about
care
this,
of your
man.
family.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah, we appreciate it, but man, family comes first. We might
Absolutely,
we
man.
might love you like family, but you still got to take care of that family, man. So, but wow, that's a great start. But before we get too caught up in that, we will certainly be praying for you and your dad, Adam. But Simoleons, let's go to you. How are you this evening?
I am feeling very relieved. Just like me in typical fashion, I usually wait to the last minute on things, and unfortunately for me this year, I wait to the last minute on taxes. And so I was starting to get a little stressed. There's one form I didn't know quite how to fill it out on my own, and so I went to my local tax guy over here, got it taken care of, everything's done, and so that weight and burden of taxes is finally off my shoulders. I feel like I can breathe again. It's so nice. And plus, I'm getting a pretty hefty return too, so I'll be happy about that.
Way to
But
go.
other than that, doing fairly well. Very relaxing day, and I'm ready to talk about the events of Martinsville because we got a lot to discuss.
We certainly do. Before we get to those, though, Zach, what is going on with you? Looking so serious this evening.
Oh, yes. It's Oh, thank you. I'm doing my ample research so that way I could bring you guys the best possible show tonight. But I'm doing well. Today was kind of stressful at work. Lots of things to do, and so that was kind of stressful. But overall, can't complain too much. Lots of work to do, and excited to kind of get a break and talk about racing with you guys. Talk about these races and MMA fights. So we got some new UFC fighters, huh? Seems like.
Apparently, NASCAR UFC division.
Or
Yeah.
I think more like UFC wannabes. I don't think they would
mean-
quite make the cut at UFC.
I mean, hey, you
But
gotta
we'll
start
get into
somewhere,
that
right?
later. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. All right. First up, truck race. Little Thursday night truck racing action. Which one of you guys is covering it? That's how far I am off on the agenda. I don't even know who's covering truck because we went back and forth on this today.
I did truck.
All right, take it away.
Alrighty, so first race of the weekend, pretty much the set the tone series, is what I'm going to call the truck series now because it always seems to do that. Lap one, you got Zane Smith and Kyle Busch, two of the most dominant forces in the truck series historically and for this season. They already are on the front row for the race, and pretty much, Zane Smith dominates stage one. Kyle Busch not too much of a factor in stage one, which is very surprising. But as we get later into the race, the first caution of the night for Jack Wood and Chris Wright. Spin-off turn two, and you gotta feel bad for Jack Wood, man. His season has just gone horribly. Just can't seem to really catch a break this season. But hopefully hopefully he will be able to turn the season around because he seems like a very likable guy. But then on lap 35, we see Johnny Sauter and Haley Deegan get together. Will not be the first time someone has Deegan tonight. And I don't know if Sauter just got tight off the corner or what happened. Maybe he thought it was clear. Spotter didn't really tell him that Deegan's there, but for some reason Sauter just slammed Deegan into the wall. Deegan with pretty heavy damage for the night. Stage 2, not really a whole lot, but we do see Ben Rose win Stage 2, and so he's looking to. So he puts an end to Zane Smith's sweep for this week. But caution number 2 of the night, we're starting to see drivers get a little bit desperate here. Already Stage 3, you got Honeycutt, Wade, Self, and Holmes go 3 wide at Martinsville, which is never a good idea. Both of them just go around, and then at that point, my man DW, who will be back in Bristol in next week, which I'm so happy about. Cautions breed cautions, and that just kind of like releases the floodgates for the next few laps with sort of freezing going around and Jesse Little going around. But then plus Holmes and Honeycutt in the process. I mean, Honeycutt, dude, just he wants to forget Martinsville so bad. But then after that, really kind of calms down, at least we thought. And then William Byron for his first truck race since 2016. He will take the win at Martinsville. Technically, he did race one last year, but I don't even remember that truck race last year. I don't think he competed last year, but he did. So William Byron wins, and then Haley Deegan gets into it with another driver. Not really fist flying as we will see here later, but definitely words were exchanged. So hopefully those two will get resolved and go on racing. But as a fan, I kind of want to see him duke it out because I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Hey, let me tell you something. Nobody wants to come out saying they got their ass kicked by a girl, okay? So I don't think anybody is going to throw a punch at Haley Deegan. So first, it's low class to hit a woman, and 2, nobody wants to say they got their ass kicked by a girl. So roll that scenario, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. No.
Nope.
Yeah, Haley Deegan, though, I like the fact that she's got some spunk to her. She's not afraid to go up to this dude and get in his face. She did the same thing to Paul Tracy in the SRX series last year. I like the fact that she's got some spunk to her. So,
yeah, she's not afraid to just go ahead and tell you exactly how she feels.
Yeah. And
if so, she will show you. So I do
Zach, you got anything to add to the truck race before we let you cover Xfinity?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really watch it very much. I did watch some highlights. I did think that it was. I thought a couple of people had a good race, but overall, I don't know. I didn't see too much action. But like I said, I can't really comment on it too much because there wasn't really, or I wasn't really watching it, but. Good on who ended up winning again?
What's that?
Who ended up winning again? The truck race?
William Byron. Theme warning. William Byron in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. And I would love to see some truck regulars start getting wins. But whatever.
All right. Before we go on to the Xfinity race, I got to give a shout out to our primary sponsor of the Loose Lug Nuts, Lauer Brothers Landscaping, LLC. They are better to us than YouTube, and they will take better care of your lawn or landscaping needs than anybody else around. So Lauer Brothers Landscaping, LLC, our primary sponsor. Thank you for your support, Adam Lauer.
Brought my hat around. There we go. I don't want
is that a landscaping company?
It's kind of a company, but hey, I feel like I'm getting free advertising.
Okay.
And
Lord,
Sav is back.
Yeah.
What is going on there, Sav? Hope we got some rehab.
So, all right, Zach, you are up. Tell us about the Xfinity race.
All right. Well, this is probably the most eventful race of the season, I would have to say. I would think most people would agree. The story of this entire race may not have been, I mean, if you were looking at it from a whole race perspective, is one word: cautions. If you're looking at it from the news or you didn't watch the race, you're seeing a fight or punches. That would be the word I would say. Go with that. But some noteworthy events. It was very cold, and obviously they had a delay because it was cold, very cold, which led to the track not rubbing off well. But they did get it started. And then stage one, Gibbs and Allgaier lead the field to green, and Gibbs runs away from the field after a lap one caution with somebody with a leaky oil pan. Hemrick, one thing I did notice in stage one is Hemrick seems to be using a lot of the brakes early, which compared to his other teammates and other counterparts on the track was a little bit uncharacteristic when you compare it to other people. So he seems to be using a lot of the brakes early, which probably doesn't bode well for him. But Gregson, all the way from 30th in the back of the pack to 12th early, he actually pits to gain track position after stage one. So he pits early, tries to split the stage. Sieg running up front early. He seems to have top 5 pace, but he gets stuck on the top on a late race restart. He ends up moving down the order, still in the top 5 or top 10 whenever he finishes the stage. But your stage one winner is going to be Gibbs after a couple restarts, not very many. And like I said, that late race restart and then that first caution. Your top 5 is going to be Gibbs, Allgaier, Ryan Truex, Castle, and Hemrick. For the start of stage 2, Gregson and others, I say others because there are a bunch of people that declined to pit, went on that alternate strategy in stage 1. And Gregson was the leader. He just declined to pit, and Snyder was second in the 31 car. Gibbs was able to get up to 6th on the outside because most of the drivers ended up choosing the inside line with used tires along with JL Jr. And he ends up restarting 6th. But actually, he gets up to the lead on lap 29, so it took him only 29 laps to get up there, but 29 laps, and he ends up overtaking Noah for the lead. Snyder, one thing I did notice is Snyder was being very aggressive, beating and banging his way through both stage 1 and stage 2. And actually, you could see pretty big nose damage around lap 30 because of it. He just seemed to get stuck on the top line a lot and was beating and banging on trying to get down low. And obviously that bit him, and he had some pretty significant damage. Stephen Parsons gets turned around, causes a caution with 20 laps to go in the stage. This is important because this is where people think that they can split the stage and get good tires for stage 3. We had some takers, not very many. Most people thought there was going to be another caution, which, spoiler alert, there was going to be a late caution in stage 2. Gibbs leads Gregson on the restart, and Brandon Jones takes over the second spot after it's all said and done, after they get single file. He seems to have a strong car. One thing that they did notice was that Brandon Jones has always done well at this track for some reason, top 10. So that bodes well for him and alludes to the finish if you want to look at that. There's a late race caution in stage 2 with strategy in play, with most of the leaders coming in for fresh tires, opting not to stay out for stage points. When it's Brandon Jones and Landon Castle lead the restart, Brandon Jones wins stage 2 with Castle in second. Sieg, Brown, and David Starr round out your top 5. And now into stage 3. Allgaier gets into the wall and ruins his race. Ryan Truex does the same a couple laps apart. And Ty Gibbs benefits because he just pitted after Ryan Truex hits the wall and ruins his race. Then again, Josh Berry gets a flat and backs into the wall with 75 laps to go. Lots of cautions, especially in stage 3. It seemed like the race was really ramping up as the race went on, and you could really tell that drivers were getting more aggressive, leading to more spins. Let's see. Brandon Jones gets the lead with Brandon Jones leads the field to green with Ty Gibbs next to him. And then just as we get restarted, the 5 spins and causes another caution. So like how they say cautions breed cautions, but man, they couldn't get green flag laps in the stage 2. I think we ran more laps under caution than we did for green flag laps. But they get it back going, and Gibbs gets the lead back from Jones and runs away with it. And then we have another late race caution with 17 to go. We have a Gregson versus Gibbs battle. Gibbs gets the best of him. With Sam Mayer hard charging, he passes his teammate. And then we have another caution. That causes overtime. A huge pileup with Sam Mayer on the restart, misses a shift, and he gets into Gregson, who turns and takes out almost the entire field. It was like an accordion effect. So Gregson shoots up the track and came back down and caused a huge pileup. It must have been around 20 cars involved total. So tough luck for Gregson, who seemed to have a fast car. He seemed to be one of the only guys who was able to challenge Gibbs, and what just wasn't there at the end, obviously where he needed to be, and no fault of his own, really. So then Sam, the biggest controversy of the night, they get restarted. Ty Gibbs on the outside, trying to find his way back in. Sam Mayer gets in deep, shoves Ty Gibbs up the track, and they go 3 wide with Castle. Ty Gibbs comes back down and gets into them with Castle almost wrecking out, which gets Ty Gibbs all pissed off. And that's really what caused the issue of the skirmish on pit lane. But anyway, Brandon Jones wins, and you have Adam Lauer's guy, Castle, in second. Awesome run for him. And then obviously you have the battle, the highlight of the night, with Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs wrecking each other out, and then obviously going into punches later in the race. But what did you guys see in the race, Aaron?
Honestly, I saw a lot of competition out of the Xfinity Series. Really, I think the Xfinity Series is probably going to be the series to watch this year. Aside from the Cup Series, where everyone's going to watch it, everyone's going to see the superstars of NASCAR's going to go at it. But I think this is going to be the series that's going to bring more attention into kind of like the lower divisions of NASCAR. I mean, you've already got like young, upstanding talents, like of course, like Ty Gibbs, like Sam Mayer, like Josh Berry. Those guys are going to be carrying the Xfinity Series, I think for the next few years, or going to be the future of the Xfinity Series. And already seems like everyone's beating and banging on each other. Everyone's trying to get like some sort of rivalries and get the personality set. Ty Gibbs may already have a personality set. So I think the Xfinity Series is going to be the one to watch this year, and this race all confirms it. Tom, what do you think?
First, I got to give a shout out to Suspect Nation coming up with a big $20. I guess we got now a secondary sponsor. So thank you, Suspect Nation. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. So generous, so wonderful of you. Appreciate it. And they also say Zach Smile. So, okay. Big takeaway for me, Landon Castle, stage 1, P4, stage 2, P2, and the final ending, P2 again. So this whole Landon Castle finishing second to me is not a fluke, because he proved he could run up front basically all night. He may have gained a position there with the Ty Gibbs incident at the very end, but he proved he could run up front all night. So impressed, and I got to tell you, Matt Collick is one of these people. He's becoming one of these people that if he dubs you to drive his car, then it's like you instantly have credibility because he is showing that he is such a good judge of talent. Because, you know, if you were looking, who do you pick to drive your Xfinity car? I don't know that how many people would have picked Landon Castle, but Matt Collig is looking like he is very good at judging talent right now. So that's one takeaway. And then we could go into the whole Ty Gibbs thing, which we will get into that later, the Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer thing. But it's like, it's Ty Gibbs and fill in the blank this week. Okay. Last week it was John Hunter Nemechek. Earlier in the season it was Ryan Sieg. This week it is Sam Mayer. It is Ty Gibbs and fill in the blank. Aaron, I'd be careful. I heard he's looking for you next. So
that's fine. Bring him on.
So
I mean, look. He's a scrawny little shit. Excuse my language. But he's such a scrawny little guy. I'm weighing over 300 pounds. I can probably take him.
Yeah, and the more I see Ty Gibbs drive, the two things that stand out to me are, one, he's extremely talented. Two, I don't like him at all. And both those things became more apparent the more I see him drive.
One thing I will say is I agree with you in that he has been, for some reason, just so aggressive. And part of the times when he doesn't even need to be, like when he wrecked out Ryan Sieg, he didn't need to be that aggressive that early in the race, and yet he was. And I think he needed a reality check. And I don't know if this is a reality check that should have gotten, but man, he's so talented. He shouldn't have to do all that. He should. I don't know. I think he just has a big head right now, but he did get up. I don't really think it was all Sam Mayer's fault, to be honest with you, because if you watch the end of the race, you can see the 54 getting up the track a little bit in each one of the corners. I think he was just over driving it, just simply. Yeah. Sam Mayer gets in a little bit deep, but it wasn't that big of a contact, and ends up getting 3 wide there, and nearly takes out all 3 of the cars, really. I really didn't think it was that big of a contact and big of a deal. I like Ty Gibbs as a person, but on the racetrack, he definitely needs a reality check, in my opinion. And I don't think he really got enough of a reality check, if I'm being honest. So hopefully some of these drivers can teach him a lesson that he can't just go beat and bang whenever he wants. And he'll learn.
And I do want to say one thing before I get into the Cup race. I think this is the exact same situation that played out last week at Richmond. It wasn't for the win, but it was pretty much the exact same situation, but just reverse. You had Ty Gibbs, trying to beat and bang and to get around John Hermanchuk for the win, but in this case, he overdrives corners a little bit to open up just that slight little window where Sam Mayer can get his car in and shows Gibbs at the racetrack. And Gibbs is all hot and bothered and starts throwing fists, and Nemechek, rightly hot and bothered as well, he keeps his cool. And so that just shows the kind of personality that Gibbs has, in my opinion. He can dish it out, but he can't take it.
Yeah. So, all right. Want to acknowledge a couple of comments here. First, Adam Lauer saying he was clearly talented enough and always deserved a better shot. Adam, let me clarify here. With what he's done in the Collig equipment, there's no doubt about that. Okay. My point is that not everybody could see that. It took Matt Collig to be able to see that talent and recognize it. The other 99.9% of us didn't see it, but you're right. He didn't suddenly learn to drive a car when he got that Collig ride. He clearly had the talent all along. It just wasn't in the right situation and have competitive equipment. But, most of us didn't recognize that talent. It took somebody like a Matt Collig to be able to say, hey, this guy can drive and I'm going to give him a shot. And boy, is he taking advantage of it. So, I want to acknowledge that comment from Adam. Let's move on. Are we covered up with Xfinity? Because that was a lot to cover there, because there was a lot more going in that race than the race I'm going to cover. But if anybody has anything else to say, I am going to move on to the Cup race real quick.
I was just
so Cup race.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Cup race. So, first off, I want to give a shout out to anybody who was at that cup race. Holy cow! You had 40-degree weather, you had rain, you had sleet, you had snow, and you had to sit through a delay in 40-degree weather. You are some true Hardy fans. Thank you guys for being there and filling the stands. But man, that was Mother Nature was not a NASCAR fan this weekend. And unfortunately, I just sat there and watched the race, and I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Have I crossed into some alternate dimension here or something? I'm like, this is Martinsville, and nobody is passing anybody. There's been no cautions. We're running this race. We had green flag pit stops at Martinsville. I tried to research it to find the last time we had green flag pit stops. I couldn't find it. If anybody can find it, let me know. I never would have dreamed we were going to have green flag pit stops at Martinsville. It was. I love NASCAR. I would rather sit and watch a NASCAR race than anything else on television. But even I got to say, this lacked a lot. We had one lead change. You had Chase Elliott come out, lead every lap stage one. We had, I think Chase Elliott won stage two and led every lap. We had a change for the lead under the pit stops during the cycle. That's how William Byron got the lead, and basically only relinquished it as they were cycling through green flag pit stops, and then held on to the win at the end. I shouldn't say held on. He clearly had the fastest car. We had one real caution, and that was near the end of the race. And I thought, man, we suffered through 395 laps of no action. We're going to get an exciting finish here. And we didn't. In just a couple of laps, William Byron was able to get away from Joey Logano enough that he couldn't even do the bump and run, and that was on a green-white checkered. Two things that struck me is this is truly a Hendrick Motorsports track. How much we had the Gibbs guys struggling and how much parity we had. So let me run through the top 10 in the stages here, not in terms of drivers, but in terms of teams. Okay, so stage one, you had two HMS cars, positions 1 and 2, 3 Stewart-Haas cars. 3. I don't know very many people pick 3 Stewart-Haas cars to get stage points. 1 JGR car. After coming off their performance at Richmond last week, I was shocked. 3 Team Penske and 1 from 23XI. Stage 2 similar. 2 HMS cars, positions 1 and 2. 3 Penske, 3 SHR, 1 Richard Childress Racing, and 1 Joe Gibbs Racing. So we only had 1 Joe Gibbs Racing car get a top 10 in the first 2 stages. So just shocked at some of at a lot of things. The struggle of JGR, the lack of passing, the lack of cautions. I wonder how much of it had to do with the weather and the fact that the track was just so cold, the track wouldn't rubber up, and maybe that would have changed it. A couple of takeaways. Austin Dillon, a strong third-place finish for Richard Childress Racing. Ross Chastain, another top 5. Was so impressed with Ross that he wasn't that great all night, but still managed to bring home a top 5. To me, that's the mark of a contender. When you're not on your A game and you still walk out with a top 5, that was impressive to me. Again, recurring theme, Kurt Busch outperforms Bubba Wallace by 10-plus spots. 5 out of 8 races, Kurt Busch has finished 10 spots or better ahead of his teammate in similar equipment. Biggest thing that surprised me, though, besides the fact that we had no cautions, Martin Truex struggled all night, wound up 22nd. Even before his pit road problems, he was running in really like 18th, 19th, 20th spot, and he's won the last 2 races, so really surprised me. But the end result is the fastest car wound up in victory lane. William Byron gets his second grandfather clock of the weekend, and he brings it home with a win. And I see the chat going crazy here. Before I let you guys give me your comments, man, everybody must have got their tax refunds. Mike Hora, thank you. Another $20. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Again, guys, please, you don't have to donate to us.
We love the support.
We love your support. Just watching, commenting is enough
we greatly appreciate it, but
yeah, donating is not required here.
Certainly don't expect it from you guys.
No.
So, Zach, Simoleon, do you guys have any takes on the Martinsville Cup race?
Follow the leader. Like,
Pretty much.
what the heck? No passes for the green, or no passes under green for the lead. I just don't understand it. I feel like they have everything right with this car for every other track besides short tracks, and we thought it was going to be so promising. Yeah, man, I'm super disappointed. I really hope Bristol dirt is going to be better. I'm not going to really get my hopes up over it, but I honestly, I was a little bit disappointed. But well, I like green flag racing, so that's kind of it's hard to say, but I like green flag racing. I just wish there was more opportunity for green flag passes and green flag leaders. I think Austin Dillon was the only one that I really notably saw was able to pass late on tires and even on the outside as well. He was just able to pass everywhere, and I really didn't see much passing going on late in a run. It was just follow the leader pretty much.
Yeah. And the one thing that surprised the absolute heck out of me, and I know it shouldn't be that surprising, but to me, it just felt weird, almost like Twilight Zone. Shifting in Martinsville. I never thought I'd see the day where you're just essentially required to shift at Martinsville. Usually in the past, you get from first to second to third as fast as you can, and into fourth as fast as you can, and just leave it at fourth. Just leave there until pit cycles happen. But they were shifting from like third to fourth all night, and it just felt weird. It just didn't seem right. But yeah. I mean, besides that, it just felt weird. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
I really don't think that the tires that we got, or probably any tires that we've ever had, probably were built for 40-degree temperatures. How much do you guys think the racing would have been different? And I want to hear the viewers talk about this too. How much do you think the racing would have been different if it was a 70-degree day?
A lot different. The track I think would have been a little bit more looser. The grip would still been there, but I think a lot more looser. And I think the turns would have gotten the aggressiveness way up.
Yeah, when you think about it, hotter temperatures allow the rubber to stick a little bit better. We were just seeing rubber fly off of some of these tires and go into the higher grooves. Not really sticking to the track at all because these colder temperatures. Definitely hotter temperatures probably would have helped. However, you don't want when you start getting that glaze and it starts to be getting loose a little bit, and you get loose on the rear end coming off the corners. I don't know. Maybe, but I just think it's a product of the new car and how they changed it. A lot, but some of it has to do with the cold weather. I do believe that for sure.
Yeah, and I think there is going to be one issue that we will talk about coming up here.
Okay. All right. With that being said, let's move on to NASCAR news, and that is Zach's segment. Take us through the news, Zach.
Absolutely. So, first on the news is going to be Joey Logano sounds off on the Joe Mayer and Ty Gibbs fight, saying essentially we've all done dumb things. So, as we know by now, Sam Mayer tried to nudge Gibbs out of the way. They went 3 wide. Gibbs didn't like that, and so they went to blow for blow on pit road. Logano's like, do I agree with the way it went down? No. Have I done that type of thing before? Yes. But hey, you learn from it, essentially. So what are your guys' thoughts on this, Tom?
I did not think. To me, Ty Gibbs, it was a he was frustrated that he had the best car and didn't win the race, and Sam Mayer was the person he took it out on. To me, that's what it looked like. It looked like that was the last lap at Martinsville, and somebody boos you to get a position. Seriously, you're surprised by that, but to me, it was more about he lost the race, had the best car, and he was frustrated. I thought he handled it in a manner that was not very, whatever you want to say, man-like. Okay, first, if you're going to want to get into a fight with somebody, if they got their helmet off and you got yours on, that's a punk move to decide I'm going to start a fight when I'm wearing a helmet and he isn't. Okay, if you want to fight the guy, then make it on equal terms. Either tell him to put his helmet back on or you take yours off. Make it on equal terms. And second, don't try to play the victim in this, okay? You went over to him. Ty Gibbs went over to Sam Mayer, and then he says, oh, well, I wanted to talk to him, but then, blah, 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 so I punched him. Don't play the victim. Don't act like Sam was the one threatening you. You went over to him, and you're the one wearing a helmet, and he's not. I thought Ty Gibbs came off looking like a total punk. Okay? That's just my take on it. It doesn't take a very big man to decide he's going to push somebody or throw a punch when I'm wearing a helmet and you're not. That doesn't take a very big man to do that.
No.
So anyway, I'm fired up about that.
Yeah, no, Gibbs is not playing the victim card.
Let me
today.
wear a helmet and the other guy not, and I can kick a lot of people's asses.
Yeah, no, look, Ty, last week you can probably get away with, hey, my car just got tight, I didn't mean to do it, all that kind of stuff. You might be able to squeeze that out of it, but this week, no, there's absolutely no more juice left for you to squeeze. You were the bad guy in this situation. Man up to it, own up to it. Don't play the victim. We have you on. We got you on 4K television right here on national television. You walking up to Sam Mayer and essentially getting in his face, and then you're telling the national audience that Sam came up to you and did that? No, absolutely not. You got your hand stuck in the cookie jar, and we all caught you. So just man up, act like it. You're done. Oh, and by the way, Joey Logano, I'm not sure this is. I'm sure that's words of wisdom coming from the most hated guy in the Cup Series right now over who you're trying to beat, Kyle Busch. That takes talent to be more hated than Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
So, for once, I am saying heed Joey Logano's warning and just knock it off, because it will not end well for you, because Matt Kenseth will find you.
Yeah, one thing I will say about this incident is, I don't know. I think we have seen drivers in the past leave their helmet on in fights. I forget who it was in the Cup Series. They had a fight a couple years ago. Driver left his helmet on and got attacked. But we have seen it before. So I'm not going to say that, Ty Gibbs, because he left his helmet on, he's a big asshole, because we have seen it before. Although, if you're going to punch somebody, at least have the decency to take it off. He really deserved an ass whooping after this race. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
After the past couple races, and I don't think he got it. So I'm hoping somebody teaches him a lesson. And I actually like Ty Gibbs, so it wasn't an incident to get that pissed off about, to be completely honest. If he had let it go, he would have finished inside the top 5, and instead he finished all the way down outside. I think top 10 at least, if not top 15. I forget where he finished, but not a good look for Ty, and he's not making a lot of fans right now. So got to be better. Got to be a bit more patient.
Let me make one final comment on this. Sam Mayer may have got hit, but let me tell you something. Sam Mayer came out the winner here, okay? Because A, he finished ahead of Ty Gibbs. B, Ty now has a really bad public image coming out of this. And oh, by the way, that pass put $100,000 in Sam Mayer's pocket because they were battling for that, whatever the prize is that they've got of the people from the last whatever race and whoever finished higher. That put $100,000 in Sam Mayer's pocket and took it out of Ty Gibbs' pocket. So yeah, so he got the dash for cash money.
Actually, Tom Allmendinger got the money.
So Sam Mayer. I'm sorry. Sam Mayer didn't. So, but that move did cost Ty Gibbs $100,000, right? Because he lost a spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep, cost me $100,000.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, didn't put it in Sam Mayer's pocket. Maybe Allmendinger will slip him $10,000 or so for helping him out. I don't know.
He should.
You know, one thing I will say is that Ty Gibbs made sure that Sam Mayer was not going to finish for the dash for cash spot because he went 3 wide and pushed them all down the track, almost threw Castle on the apron. He was not going to let Sam Mayer get to the dash for cash, for sure. After that one, yikes!
But I mean, how do you handle this if you're Joe Gibbs though? Is it time you finally sit Ty down and tell him to calm down, or he's out of a ride?
No, he's never going to be out of a ride. Let's be real here. He has he has the name.
He's never going to be out of a ride.
I
think Gibbs maybe tells him to calm it down, but he doesn't tell him he's out of a ride.
Yeah. Especially after last week with his teammate, and a couple weeks ago with Ryan Sieg. Yeah. But anyway,
I'm just picturing a whole Kyle Busch situation again, where M&M's was in deep water with him and all that stuff, and sponsors leaving. So that's kind of what I'm fearing for Ty Gibbs. But that's just me.
I don't know.
You know what, though? I think Joe Gibbs can handle this. He handled that. He handled Tony Stewart when Tony Stewart had to go to anger management counseling. You know, Joe Gibbs has been through stuff like this with drivers before. I think he'll find a way to handle it.
Monster Energy has been through this before. It's not new to them. So, and Rowdy Energy could always sponsor him if Monster Energy doesn't. But you do want to remember that he was having, I don't know, some sort of sponsorship issue whenever he first came in. Remember, he was running those blank schemes. So maybe this is something to watch if it does happen. So I don't know.
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on. And something for history books to look back on.
All right, let's keep rolling.
So the next news article is going to be NASCAR drivers are sounding off on the latest next-gen car issue, as we saw in Martinsville. Couple drivers were sounding off on what they thought the issue was. Ryan Blaney thought that the amount of horsepower that they had wasn't enough. Kevin Harvick said the gear ratios are way wrong. And then Denny Hamlin also said that the wake was big in the new car. They don't have the mechanical grip right now to pass. Do you guys think NASCAR has a bug with the new car, or is it just typical Martinsville? Aaron, let's start with you.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, granted, it is very tough to pass in Martinsville without having to use the chrome horn or to use the front bumper to get around somebody. It is very tough to try and do it cleanly in Martinsville. That being said, it's not unusual for drivers to occasionally go the track or do anything like that. I thought we saw a lot of decent passing, but unfortunately, a lot of that passing was for lap-down cars just trying to get out of the way. I definitely think that the weather played an issue. I think that that this very well could be a major issue, especially with the shorter tracks. I think we saw a little bit of that at the LA Coliseum, I thought, where drivers just weren't really able to really catch them or really do anything when they got to him besides use the chrome horn and try and shove them out of the way. I thought we saw a little bit there, but I think, I mean, if there are different drivers from different organizations complaining about the same thing with the car, there's a problem. It's not just one guy from one team saying that the cars have an issue and it's just for him. Well, okay, whatever. But if it's Denny Hamlin, if it's, Kevin Harvick, if it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. complaining about it, Redneck Jesus, saying that the cars were complete trash in Martinsville, and even posting on Twitter of just a trash can of him trying to throw trash away. There's a problem with the cars that definitely needs to be addressed and looked at. So I think it's a little bit of both.
What about you, Tom?
We weren't hearing a lot of this at Richmond. It seemed like at Richmond you could pass, and it's a short track. I'm really wondering how much of this is weather related. I want to give this a little bit more time before we make a judgment on it, just because I felt like this was such an odd race, and I don't want to overreact to one race. So I'm kind of in the wait and see camp.
Yeah. Whenever you have drivers complaining about multiple different things, it isn't ever a good sign. And I think might be a little bit overreaction because of the race, and maybe potentially some setup woes coming into the race. Got the car completely wrong, because we obviously did see some people have great races. Austin Dillon, William Byron. So I don't want to say that it was. I don't want to say it's completely the car's fault right now. However, I do think, when you have no green flag passes for the lead, that is definitely a concern. That's not something that you want to see every single race, for sure. And when you see green flag pit stops at Martinsville, that's never a good sign. Even for me, who loves green flag racing and watching the strategies play out, Martinsville should never have a green flag pit stop. But yeah, I would have to wait and see. I thought Richmond was okay. Martinsville was not. So let's get through Bristol and see where we're at with it and if it's a trend.
Well, Bristol's going to be an offhand weird race anyway because it's on dirt.
Yeah, I meant
so that may throw
asphalt, but yeah,
I
agree.
Yeah, fair.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so let's move on.
Okay. All right, let's keep moving. It's 9:47, and we are not even through news yet. We got to pick up the pace.
Kevin Harvick announces that he will not retire anytime soon. This feels like to me where they have like the sign that says like the weather forecaster, it's going to rain, and it's already raining outside. I feel like this is not really news. What do you say, Tom?
Yeah, I'm like, it's not news. He's signed through 2023. We know he'll be around at least next year. This is not news. This is like announcing that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. So, yeah, non-story to me.
What about you, Aaron?
I mean, I kind of thought it was fascinating just because, Harvick's getting up there in age. He started back in 2001, is 2022, so he's getting up there in terms of age. I mean, at this point, he has really nothing left to prove in NASCAR. He's out here kind of for fun at this point. Surely he has enough money to sit back on for 3 or 4 lifetimes. And so I kind of thought, it may be time for him to hang up the fire suit. I mean, he's going through one of the worst stretches in his career. So many races without a win. I mean, hell, I can't remember the last time Kevin Harvick.
I think we're at 50.
Yeah, 50 race winless streak with Kevin Harvick. I never thought I would see the day, but here we are. So I kind of thought.
To be fair, Stewart Haas has struggled as a whole. It's not like his teammates have been racking up, 10 victories in his 50 race winless streak. I think in that time, the Eric Almirola victory at New Hampshire is the only Stewart Haas victory while he's been on his winless streak. So it's not like his teammates have been racking it up. This organization as a whole is struggling.
Well, Chase Briscoe also won at Phoenix this year. And so...
okay, there's 2. Sorry, you're right.
And so it's not like Stewart Haas has really been kind of struggling this year. They have gotten better. But, again, not where they're supposed to be. I thought it was interesting that Kevin Harvick is saying, no, I'm not going anywhere for a while. I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to who's hot and who is not. So, Zach, who you
Don't
got
start
for
with
who's
me.
hot and
Don't
who's
start
not?
with me. Go to Aaron.
Okay, Aaron,
Hold on.
who have you got for who's hot, who's not?
All right, so for my who's hot this week, I'm going with the man, the myth, the new legend of the 24 car, William Byron. For just when the truck race seemed like out of nowhere, he wasn't really that competitive or that. Well, he wasn't really that mentionable of the truck race. Then somehow comes out of nowhere and wins it. And of course, the Cup race, he gets took the lead from a dominant Chase Elliott and ends up winning the race, leading a bunch of laps. Also, I've done read somewhere that Hendrick as a whole led 397 of like 403 laps. That's just insane. And so
William Byron came from 32nd spot in the truck race to win. Literally dead last. Had to pass every car in the field to win.
Yeah, and won it. So William Byron, I gotta go with who's hot. Who's not? Tom, I see yours. We agree. Ty Gibbs for making himself look like a fool and a punk on national television and really showing his true colors. For obvious reasons. All right, that's my. Okay, so that is my who's hot and who's not this week. Tom, let's go to you.
All right, I am going with who is hot. Landon Castle finished no worse than 4th in any stage at Martinsville. Brought it home second. His second top 5 of the year in 8 races in basically a new ride, where he's got to be learning the crew chief, learning how the cars are set up. And let's face it, it's got to be an adjustment just racing in these faster cars. It's got to be an adjustment to him because he's never had anything this fast before. Doing a tremendous job in 8 races. He's got 4 top 10s, 2 top 5s, season best second place. I really thought it would be the second half of the season before we could make any judgments about how he was going to do. But he is really kind of setting the world on fire very early on. So my who's hot is Landon Castle. And I'm going to stick with I'm going to double down on Aaron's pick for who's not. Ty Gibbs, not just because of what he did this week, but it's a culminating factor. It was this week it was Sam Mayer, last week it was John Hunter Nemechek, a few weeks ago it was Ryan Sieg, and oh, by the way, he lost the race and lost the dash for cash money, so he had a bad Friday night.
Oh, and on top of that, it just came out earlier today. Ty Gibbs was also fined $15,000 this week.
Yeah.
So not only he lost $100,000, he also lost $15,000. So that sucks.
Yeah. So, all right. So Zach, we are up to you.
All right, awesome. So, well, I have 2 for who's hot. So I'm sorry. For the Cup race. Or for the Cup Series, Austin Dillon gets his season best, finishes second at Martinsville. Man, he just seemed so quick on the long runs. Only person I saw in the entire race that was able to make passes on the outside late in a run. He was just getting it done. I surely thought that he was going to win, but I think he overcooked his tires on the last little stint, and he wasn't able to charge the front there. Obviously, he did spin the tires on that late restart, but still great finish for him. Great finish for the team. Probably his overall best run that I've seen him have in a very long time. So honestly, Martinsville wasn't necessarily his best track, so good for him. He gets his career best finish at Martinsville as well, so good for him. In the Xfinity Series, I have to shout out Ryan Sieg because Tom, you took my pick in Castle. I got to shout out Ryan Sieg. 5 top 10s this season, even after getting taken out by Ty Gibbs at one race. He's ahead of the likes of Austin Hill, Riley Herbst, Landon Castle, Anthony Alfredo, and Sheldon Creed in the playoffs with much more underfunded equipment than those counterparts. So good for him. He's in a playoff spot, and it is always good to see some new faces up there. As far as my who's not, I'm gonna go a little bit unconventional pick. I don't necessarily think it's. I don't necessarily think that it's because of his finishes, but it just seems uncharacteristic to me. I'm gonna go with Kyle Larson. Now, hear me out. He hasn't been finishing bad, but at Martinsville, he ends up finishing. Give me a second. 19th. He was in the top 10 for stage 1. He just seemed to lose pace throughout the race, much like the Toyotas of Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex. But he hasn't been as dominant as some of his counterparts like Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman, and now William Byron. It's weird to see Kyle Larson after last season's dominating performance that he is the odd man out as far as the championship goes. So I'm going to say he's trending downwards for me, but that's my who's hot, who's not.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. We are up to green flag, red flag. That is your segment, Simoleons.
Alrighty. Alright, and so for the folks in the audience, in case you don't know, green flag means yes, red flag means no. See if you guys agree or disagree with the statements and questions that we have. Looks like we got 3, 4, 5 statements for y'all today. Let's get into it. So, number 1 for the night, Clint Boyer and Darrell Waltrip in the booth is going to be hard for Mike to get a word out. Green flag or a red flag? Zach, let's go with you first.
Green. Oh my word. They're going to be going at each other the entire race. They never shut up. Clint never shuts up anyway. Not to mention DW never has shut up in his life. So this is Mike Joy is going to be trying to get a word in every chance that he gets, and I don't think he's going. I think we're going to be able to count on our hands how many words he gets in. So that'll be interesting to see. Maybe we can get a Mike counter as far as how many words he says throughout the race.
All right, Tom, what say you?
Yeah, DW's nickname was Jaws, okay, and you pair him with Clint Boyer. Yeah, Mike Joy, they can just turn his mic off. So yeah, I don't know that he's going to get a chance to talk if he wants to. So yeah, green flag all the way on that one.
Clint Boyer only shuts up when he has food in his mouth, and DW doesn't anyway. So.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, you got Clint, who's already well above the threshold for ADD, and DW, who has so much things to say that he doesn't have enough time in the day to say everything. Mike, he may as well just not even show up that day. Just let Clint and DW handle the broadcasting for that day. Just go home, just relax, man. Save your voice for other days. All right, see Mike with green. Ryan's killing it. Good for him. Absolutely. Good to see Ryan Sieg doing well. But right now, going green for green all the way down the board. All right. So green flag, red flag number 2 of the night. The feud between Mayer and Gibbs is over. Green flag or red flag? Tom, let's go with you first.
Yeah, it's over. Green flag for the simple reason that next week it will be Ty Gibbs and somebody else. So yeah, the Sam Mayer one is over because Ty Gibbs is going to be into it with somebody else next week. So green flag just because, yeah, Gibbs will be pissing off somebody else next week. Yeah, if you want to go and kick Ty Gibbs' ass, stand at the end of the very long line over here.
I don't think it's over at all. If I'm being honest, I'm gonna say red flag. They seem to have some issues anyway. God, I just don't think it's over. I mean, when you look at some of the comments that Ty Gibbs had to say afterwards, I think he's going to be aggressor again next time. He's going to be running into Mayer next time. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, if he does, he's absolutely stupid. I'm going to go red flag. This feud is far from over. when drivers are having fisticuffs at each other, or it's not over. Just simple fact that Gibbs is going to piss somebody else off, but Mayer is going to be obviously pissed off at him. So that's red flag all the way for me. And looks like Adam's going green. So is that for the other one, or is that for the feud between Mayer and Gibbs? Let me know. All right, moving on. Green flag, red flag, number 3 of the night. Do the throwback schemes look weird with the number placements forward? It was revealed this week. I think just today, that Bowman is going to be using the Mark Martin Valvoline throwback, which is the classic look. I think it looks really nice. It looks a little weird with the number up front, but that's just me. Guys, what do you think? Green flag, red flag? Zach, we'll go with you first.
Yes. First of all, yes, definitely looks weird. I think if they're doing throwbacks, they should definitely do it in the middle. I get it for sponsor reasons, but if you look at some of these guys, they're not even using the extra space, like I keep saying every single time. But also, more specifically about Alex Bowman's scheme, I'm very peeved that they ended up not actually using Valvoline for the scheme. They ended up using Ally, because doesn't the 88 get sponsored by Valvoline at least one race out of the year? Why could they not make it this one race and make it a true throwback? I don't understand that. But anyway, that's just my rant on that little thing. But yes, definitely green flag.
All right, Tom, what do you think?
Okay, green flag because the numbers look weird in the middle. They look weird the way they got to move forward anyway, so it's green flag. Do the numbers look weird with their current position? Period. Yes, they're going to look weird whether it's a throwback or not a throwback. So yeah, definitely green flag. It just looks weird. They don't look right where they're at.
Yeah, I'm going green flag too. To me, it seems like this year especially, it's more of like a gimmick for NASCAR now. It's starting like, hey, we were warning this guy from way back when, but we're not going to really honor them on them much because we still have rules we gotta enforce. So no, it looks weird. But I will give Ally this. They finally did away with that whole like lines on the hood thing that makes the Ally logo stupid hard to see. They finally did away with that, and it looks good. I will give them credit for that. Thank you for getting rid of those, because they look stupid. So yeah, I'm going green flag with that. It looks dumb. It looks dumb and cheesy.
All right, I can't wait for this one. This is my favorite one. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, yeah, I just now read it. Whoo boy. All right. So, 4th one of the night. Who wins in a fight between Hailie Deegan, 5'9", one? Okay, hang on. I probably say this like an announcer. In the left corner, weighing 130 pounds, standing 5'9", Hailie Deegan. And the other corner, Ty Gibbs, 5'7", 110 pounds. Ty Gibbs. Who will win? Green flag for Deegan, red flag for Gibbs. Tom, you go first.
Green flag. I think Hailie Deegan's got some fight in her. I think she does. Green flag. I think she can kick his butt. Her dad was an X Games athlete. I'm sure somewhere in her growing up and all her diverse training, she probably took some martial arts or something. I think she could take him. I'm taking, and she's getting feistier the longer she goes. So I'm going Hailie Deegan. Green flag.
All right, Zach. What say you? Who are you put? If you were to bet, who are you betting on?
I gotta bet on Deegan. Yeah. I don't know. She seems to have more heart and more feistiness in her. Seems like Ty Gibbs' energy is a little like little kid syndrome, in my opinion, but I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, let's see. Not only, yeah, I gotta go digging too. Not only does she have the height advantage, she has the weight advantage. I mean, granted, 110 and 130 aren't really that bad between two, but still, every advantage counts. And so I gotta go Haley Deegan. I think if she was pissed enough, I think she could knock the head off of Ty Gibbs. Because Ty Gibbs is freaking scrawny. I mean,
I
5'7",
cannot
110.
believe that Ty Gibbs is 5'7". I want somebody to fact check that, or I want to look up multiple sources. I saw 5'7". I'm like, I thought he was like 4'10". So
maybe a little generous with that. Maybe that's Grandpa Gibbs, you know, adding a little bit of height to him.
Standing on the
Maybe.
phone book.
yeah.
Probably, or sitting on a freaking soapbox. But yeah, no, I gotta go. I gotta go digging.
Haley
Just be-
Deegan looks like she bites. I got her probably 230 odds. Plus, she had older brothers.
That is true.
Oh,
She
what
had to
about the
defend
older
herself.
brother factor? Oh yeah, that
Ooh, that is.
any girl who survived having older brothers has got to be tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that one.
All right, last one. I think last one. Is this our last green flag, red
Yep.
flag?
Last one. Green flag, red flag of the night. Landon Castle is having the best season of his career, driving an Xfinity Series for Matt College Racing. He has 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s in 8 races. Green flag, red flag. Landon Castle adds to Matt College trophy collection with a win in the Xfinity Series before the end of the season. Let's see. Who else started last time?
You started with me. Go with that.
All right, Zach, you're up.
I want to say yes. College Racing has the speed to do it. I'm going to say yes. I think he gets it done. It's going to be difficult, but I think he can get it done with either strategy or with a good decent result at maybe a plate track or something like that. I think he gets it done this season though. Might have to wait till the
All right.
playoffs. Who knows?
I mean, hey,
But
as long as he gets that win, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all College cares about.
But that would be a good time to win too, especially if
Yes,
he's in
it
the
would.
playoffs.
Yes, it would. All right, Tom, what say you?
I am going green flag all the way here. I've been so impressed with what he's been able to do, especially this early in the season where you would expect the team to still kind of be gelling and getting used to each other. And the fact that he is driving for Matt Collick, who is, as they describe themselves, trophy hunters. They don't care about points. They don't stage race. They are going after the trophies. And I think that mentality will help Landon, knowing that he can go out there and be aggressive if he needs to or do what he needs to win the race. I'm green flag all the way. I think he gets it done.
I mean, he certainly has shown the results to get it done. But Adam, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I gotta go red flag. I don't think he gets it done.
Oh,
I know.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but he's getting results. There's no question that he's getting results. He's showing that he does have talent. And if he has good equipment, he's got the talent to get good finishes. But I just don't see it this season. I'm sorry. If he comes back for next season, I will definitely say green flag. But for before the end of the season, I don't think he does. I think he will have a breakout season in terms of top 5s, top 10s, laps led, and all that. I think he will absolutely do that. But I just don't see a win. Yeah,
I definitely think he makes round of 8.
I definitely think he'll make the playoffs, but I don't see him getting in with a win. And so, Adam, I'm sorry, man. I don't see it.
Look, I see him winning Talladega in the playoffs.
I mean,
Good
if he
dance.
wins Talladega, then Adam, you have every right to call me out on it. You can link me the timestamp on this video when it goes to YouTube. You can call me out all you want to. How about that?
There you go.
It's only haven't been wrong before. And so that will be the end for green flag, red flag.
All right, so we are up to a Bristol dirt preview. So this is an Easter Sunday race. I think it's an evening race, isn't it?
I believe so.
I
A
think
dirt race under the lights.
Yeah, I think they are trying to go with the evening, maybe where you get a little dew and moisture in the air to maybe keep some of the dust down. But yeah, so what are you guys thinking? What are you guys expecting to see here at Bristol?
Evening?
You guys tell me what you think. I will check the time,
It's
but
night.
I think it is
It's
evening.
night. It's 7 p.m. start time. It's definitely night.
That's
So
yeah, that's
start
evening.
time, which means I'll be able to watch it. Hell yes.
Yeah.
They're definitely going what you said. Sunday night, short track racing under the lights. I love that.
Dirt track style, which is
Mhm.
awesome.
I love that.
But if I had to pick, I don't know.
I'm going Kyle Larson. I don't know. Last year his car got tore up, so we don't know
Mhm.
exactly how good he was. Okay, but he's won everything on dirt. So I am going with Kyle Larson. I think that absent something happening to him equipment wise, he puts it in victory lane because he can go into the world of dirt and take on the best drivers in the world in a car that he doesn't drive every week and win. So I'm going with Kyle Larson.
That is not a bad pick. All right, Zach, do you want to take?
Yeah,
a shot
I'll go
at it?
next. I'm going Christopher Bell. I don't know
Baby
why.
Bell.
Oh wait, no. Should I? Nah.
No.
don't know.
You already said
I'll
Bell.
go Christopher Bell. Dark horse. I'm gonna say Ross Chastain. He was actually pretty good last year, excuse me. And actually, Trackhouse as a whole was really good. Remember, Suarez was actually leading a bunch on merit early in the race. So
I'm sorry. So who's your dark horse?
Ross Chastain, but he really shouldn't be a dark horse anymore with how many top fives he has and top tens he has, and where he is in the playoffs. Crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm the treasure at all. I think Chastain was a great fit for Trackhouse, but I want to say just because of momentum and just because of how how well he ran. Well, actually, no. Actually, he didn't really run very well at Bristol. I was going to go with William Byron, but I can't. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm going with William Byron. And as I guess my dark horse, I got to go with I think the other Trackhouse driver, Dan Suarez. Tom, if you had to pick a dark horse, who'd you pick?
I'm going to go. Didn't Ricky Stenhouse Jr. run pretty well here last year? I don't know if he got to finish, but I think he ran up front near that. If I'm going with the dark horse,
he finished second last year.
I'm going with Ricky Spin out himself.
Damn, that is a good lineup. Kyle Larson and Ricky Spinhouse.
Oh, sorry. I spelled it the right way. Spinhouse.
If I had to rank those, I would say Tom's picks, my picks, and then Aaron's. Aaron, what are you thinking? William Byron?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Maybe
The guy
I'm
only
wrong.
won twice this week, and it has been pretty good on dirt.
Yeah, he has been all right. I wouldn't say better than Larson or Spinhouse. Maybe Bell.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to pick against Larson for dirt racing or really any kind of racing.
I really went out on a limb with that pick.
You really did both of those.
I really
picks.
You really did.
You
Yeah.
picked the
You
two best
really did,
options
Tommy.
for
That's
both.
that's a high gamble pick you're picking, Tom.
Uh-huh.
I would not go to Vegas with those odds.
I'm gonna base I'd lose all my money.
Yeah, for sure. But there are picks locked in. No one can change
All
them.
right. It is time for our parting comments. Anybody got anything they want to throw up here real quick? If not, I've got something I will go with.
I don't have anything. Tom, if you want to go for it, go for it.
All right, I am asking a favor of our viewers here who have already been so good. I have friends that run a website, racingrefresh.com. Great content. If you are looking for help on your picks for races or maybe your fantasy league, they have a section there called Stat Chat that is everything you ever wanted to know from a statistical perspective. Great guys, great content. They are a NASCAR media credentialed organization, so they get to actually sit in on all the Zoom calls with the drivers and do the interviews and have access to things that we could only dream of. But here's the deal. They are having a contest to get people to sign up for their newsletter, and I'm going to post the link where you can sign up, okay? So I am asking our viewers to go out and sign up for the Racing Refresh newsletter, and here's the deal. You can put me in as who your referral is, okay? Tom Willoughby. The person who gets the most people to sign up gets two things. They get $100 and they get $100 donated to a charity of their choice. If you guys make me a winner, I'll take the $100 I'm given, and I'll pick one of you guys, and you guys can pick a charity that I donate it to. So that way, two charities get a benefit from it. One I pick and one you pick. So please follow that link, sign up to get their newsletter, and make sure as your referral you put in Tom Willoughby. If I am there, where am I? Where am I? Did they not list me?
No, Tom, I got you right here. I see you on there.
Okay, I don't see me. Maybe that's because I'm logged in as myself and I don't get to see myself. But please go in and sign up, and everybody who helps me win, I will draw a name out of a hat or something and make sure we get to put $100 towards a favorite charity of yours. So that's my parting comment.
Okay.
Well, I can't really back that up. My comment is I just want to point Kyle Larson out really quick. He's tied for 14th with Austin Cindric for the playoffs, even though he has one win. So he is locked in the playoffs. But if he did not have a win, he would be 13th right now. He would be 2 spots out of the playoffs, 2 spots from being out of the playoffs right now. It seems to me that he's it's not been noticeably struggling, but he hasn't really been, he has been having to work a little bit harder to get in the top 5 and top 10s in the recent races. Pretty insane to think about when you look at it and you see Chase Elliott's leading the points, William Byron 3rd, and Alex Bowman is in 6th, all with, well, not Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman has 1 win, William Byron 2 wins, Chase Elliott no wins, and Kyle Larson's all the way back in 13th, but he has a win, but only 3 top 10s so far in 8 races. So interesting to see.
Yeah, it is really weird. But my parting comments are, you guys are the best fan base in the world, hands down, period. Just the love and support that we've gotten from you guys over the last few weeks, and really over all the time that we've done this podcast, has been tremendous and soul warming and all that jazz and cheesy stuff. So thank you guys so much for your time, for your views, for your comments, for your support, especially for your money, which we do not, which we thank you, but seriously, stop. You don't have to. But thank you all so much for watching this.
Absolutely. All right, I guess that wraps it up for tonight. So thank you guys for tuning in. Great show, great interaction from the fans as always. Bristol Dirt Race, going to be exciting. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. We're basically doing short tracks back to back with Richmond, Martinsville, and Bristol. So I really think that by the end of this Bristol race, we're going to see more tempers flaring. So
I fully expect it.
Yeah. So, all right, with that, we are out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Enjoy the Bristol Dirt Weekend.
See you guys.